Hi, I'm Sean.
And I'm Ruha.
Welcome to Stories from Around the World, coming to you from Princeton, New Jersey.
This is in collaboration with the Princeton Public Library, Labyrinth Books, and the Youth Remote Learning Initiative.
The story is entitled Welcoming Elijah, a Passover Tale with a Tale. Inside there was light, outside there was darkness. Inside it was warm, outside it was windy. Inside there was laughter, outside there was silence. Inside a boy hugged his family, outside a kitten sat alone. Inside the boy waited for the setter to start. Outside, the kitten waited for the moon to rise. Tonight would be different from all the other nights. The boy knew this. The kitten did too. The Seder had many parts to it. The boy filled the prophet Elijah's cup and then sat down to wait for the part he loved best of all. Inside, candles glowed. Outside, stars twinkled. Inside, the boy drank grape juice. Outside, the kitten lapped up a puddle. Inside, the boy washed his hands. Outside, the kitten cleaned his paws. Still, the boy waited. Still, the kitten waited. Inside, the boy dipped parsley in salt water. Outside, the kitten chewed a wet blade of grass. Inside, the boy broke the middle matzo in half. Outside, the kitten split a twig in two. Inside, the boy heard the tale of the Israelites leaving Egypt. Outside, the kitten heard leaves whispering in the trees. Still, the boy waited. Still, the kitten waited. Inside, the boy ate the festive Passover meal. Outside, the kitten ate nothing at all. Inside, the boy patted his belly full. Outside, the kitten swished its skinny tail. Inside, the boy sang songs of praise. Outside, the kitten mewed. Still, the boy waited. Still, the kitten waited. At last, one of the grown-ups said, "Let us now open the door to welcome the prophet Elijah, who will one day bring peace to the world." Inside, the boy sprang up from his seat. Outside, the kitten scampered up the walk. A square of lamplit spilled onto the porch. A beam of moonlight shone into the hall. Inside, the boy looked outside. Outside, the kitten looked inside. "Elijah!" Meow. And that's how Elijah found a home. The end.
The title of this book is Six Crows. In a peaceful valley at the foot of the Balabadur Hills, a farmer cultivated a field of wheat. The soil was fertile and the spring rains had been gentle. Life would have been good and happy were it not for six noisy crows who nested in a tree nearby. Just when the wheat was about to ripen, the crows descended upon the field and pecked away at the tender grains. The farmer tried to chase the crows from the field, but no sooner had he returned to his hut than they were back. In desperation, he built a scarecrow. Looks scary? Not very. When the crows saw it standing in the wheat, waving a big stick, they were frightened. They huddled in their tree and wondered what to do. "We must scare that thing away," they said. "But how?" "Let's set the field on fire," shouted a crow. "But that would be the end of our wheat," the others said. There were many proposals. At last they agreed to make a ferocious kite. They gathered bark and dry leaves and made a fierce and very ugly bird. The next morning they flew the kite over the field. The scarecrow didn't budge, but the farmer was very frightened. He ran into his hut and bolted the door tight. "I must build a scarier scarecrow," he said. Soon, a giant figure brandishing 2 swords stood in the wheat field. Its angry mouth seemed to grunt. "That should do it," said the farmer. But when the crows saw the new menace, they gathered more bark and more leaves and built an even larger and more ferocious kite. They flew it over the field, back and forth. The farmer was so scared that he didn't dare leave his hut. From her nest in an old tree trunk, an owl had been watching the goings-on. She shook her head. "I don't know who is sillier, the farmer or the crows," she thought. Which one do you think is sillier? When she noticed that the wheat was wilting from neglect, she decided to talk to the farmer. "Why don't you make peace, you and the crows?" she said. "It's too late now," said the farmer angrily. "It's never too late to talk things over," said the owl. Then she went to the crows. "What can we do now?" asked the crows, dismayed when they heard that the wheat crop was in danger. "Go and talk things over," said the owl. "Words can do magic." The crows and the farmer agreed to meet near the owl's nest. While the owl looked on, they talked and talked. First in anger, then more reasonably, finally like old friends. "I must confess that I missed your happy cackling," said the farmer. "And we missed your wheat," said the crows. Soon they were laughing together. "We must thank the owl," said the farmer. "But where is she?" Her nest was empty. They looked all over. They went to the field. There stood the giant scarecrow, but something was different. The nasty grin had turned into a happy smile. The owl was perched on the giant's arm. "What happened?" they asked. "Magic," she said. Looks like she's winking. The end.
The title of this book is I Am a Thief. I am a thief. Me, Elisa Jane Murphy, line leader, caring friend, captain of the worm rescue team. A thief. The stone made me do it. It sparkled at me. In a flash of brilliant green, it was mine. And my heart stopped singing. Look at that. Oh. My letters went wonky. I was too heavy to swing. Oh, she's guilty. Everyone stopped what they were doing and looked for the stone. My cheeks burned. I wanted to put it back, but what if someone saw? At home, I hid it, but I felt I glowed green. Daddy, have you ever stolen anything? Never. His shocked eyes made my not singing heart crumble up. Mama, have you stolen anything? Mama smiled. A magnet? Did you ever give it back? Of course. Why? I shrugged. My own mother. A thief. Grandpa, have you ever stolen anything? Grandpa chuckled. I once took a Yankees keychain from my friend Bill. Did he find out? He did. By golly, was he mad. And Grandpa? And why was he laughing? Look at Grandpa laughing. Who else in my family was a thief? I decided to investigate. Nana Iris admitted taking packets of sugar from the diner. Often. Oh, look at that full bag. And her dog, James, was a notorious sausage thief. My baby brother, Jack, once swiped a lady's sandwich. Look at Jack eating someone's sandwich. 2 Christmases ago, cousin Clara stole Santa's beard. Well, she tried anyway. And Uncle Tim's goat pinched Jack's underpants and ate them. It seemed like everyone in my family was a thief. Maybe I should have felt better knowing I wasn't alone. But I didn't. I knew what I had to do. The next day, I gave back the stone. Miss Delano did not send me to the principal or say my days as line leader were finished. She said I was brave. I told Miss Delano I came from a long line of thieves. She had probably stolen something too, if she thought about it. Then I realized nobody is just a thief. Everyone is a lot of things. Look at that. She's different things. She's a baseball player. She's reading. She's being silly. She's dancing. She's Supergirl. We put the stone back, and my heart started singing again. Oh, she's not guilty anymore. I decided to close my investigation, but it turns out it wasn't quite finished. Look at that. Her daddy is stealing some cake. The end.
So now I'm going to read 2 poems from one of my favorite books, Where the Sidewalk Ends. And for this, I'm going to need my very, very professional glasses. The first poem is called Sick. I cannot go to school today, said little Peggy Ann McKay. I have the measles and the mumps, a gash, a rash, and purple bumps. My mouth is wet, my throat is dry, I'm going blind in my right eye. My tonsils are as big as rocks. I've counted 16 chicken pox. And there's one more, that's 17. And don't you think my face looks green? My leg is cut, my eyes are blue. It might be instamatic flu. I cough and sneeze and gasp and choke. I'm sure that my left leg is broke. My hip hurts when I move my chin. My belly button's caving in. My back is wrenched, my ankle sprained. My appendix pains each time it rains. My nose is cold, my toes are numb. I have a sliver in my thumb. My neck is stiff, my voice is weak. I hardly whisper when I speak. My tongue is filled up, my mouth, I think my hair is falling out. My elbow's bent, my spine ain't right. I ain't straight, my temperature is 108. My brain is shrunk, I cannot hear. There's a hole inside my ear. I have a hangnail, and my heart is... What? What's that you say? Today is Saturday? Goodbye, I'm I'm going out to play. Was she sick? No. The next poem I'm going to read to you is called Hungry Mungry. Hungry Mungry sat at supper, took his knife and spoon and fork, ate a bowl of mushroom soup, ate a slice of roasted pork, ate a dozen stewed tomatoes, 27 deviled eggs, 15 shrimps, 9 baked potatoes, 32 fried chicken legs, a shank of lamb, a boiled ham, 2 bowls of grits, some black-eyed peas, 4 chocolate shakes, 8 angel cakes, 9 custard pies with Munster cheese, 10 pots of tea, and after he had eaten all of that, he poured some broth on the tablecloth, and he ate the kitchen table. His parents said, "Oh, Hungry Mungry, stop these silly jokes." Mungry opened up his mouth, and gulp, he ate his folks. And then he went and ate his house, all the bricks and wood, and then he ate up all the people in the neighborhood. Up came 20 angry policemen shouting, "Stop and cease!" Mungry opened up his mouth and gulp, he ate the police. Soldiers came with tanks and guns. Said Mungry, "They can't harm me." He just smiled and licked his lips and ate the U.S. Army. The president sent all his bombers. Mungry still was calm. Put his head back, gulped the planes, and gobbled up the bomb. He ate his town and ate the city, ate and ate and ate. And then he said, "I think I'll eat the whole United States." And so he ate Chicago first and munched the water tower. And then he chewed on Pittsburgh, but he found it rather sour. He ate New York and Tennessee and all of Boston town. He drank the Mississippi River just to wash it down. And when he'd eaten every state, each puppy boy and girl, he wiped his mouth upon his sleeve and went to eat the world. He ate the Egypt pyramids and every church in Rome, and all the grass in Africa and all the ice in Nome. He ate each hill in green Brazil, and then, to make things worse, he decided for dessert he'd eat the universe. He started with the moon and stars, and soon as he was done, he gulped the clouds, he sipped the wind and gobbled up the sun. Then, sitting there in the cold, dark air, he started to nibble his feet, then his legs, then his hips, then his neck, then his lips, till he sat there just gnashing his teeth, 'cause nothing was nothing, was nothing, was nothing, was nothing, was left to eat. Hungry Mungry.